Indiana basketball takes on Wisconsin tomorrow night as they travel to the abyss for Indiana basketball. Traveling to the Kohl Center is like traveling to a black hole. Not won there since 1998.
Yeah, that's right. And you talked to Charlie Miller yesterday. I heard he was part of the last team that went up there and won the game.
He was the last winner.
Yeah. Yep. I'll be making that long, slow drive, cold drive, I guess, up to Madison tomorrow, 6 hours. And
you're going up?
Hooking a right on in Bloomington, Illinois, right? That's how I usually do it, and go through beautiful Rockford, Illinois. The Rockford Files. Remember that show?
Oh yes, Jim Rockford.
And whenever I think of that, I always think of that in the theme song. And remember the answering machine? I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for everything you got.
Half the people listening don't know what an answering machine is.
I know, right? Or the Rockford Files. Yeah, that's an old school reference. But
yeah.
That it should be interesting to see what they learned from the first road game, right, and how they carry that over in the second road game. And really, it's been last two games, two kind of sluggish starts for Indiana too. They're going to have to get off to a much better start, I think, in this game in order to, because they could really get the doors blown off if they don't, come with that sense of urgency in the first 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially on the road against a team. Well, the
first ranked team, that they're facing.
That, and Wisconsin plays at a slow pace, so I don't know if getting off to, because you always want to get off to a good start, but I don't know if this is the game that kills you as badly, because the score ends up at 52-54 in these games a lot.
I remember 2 years ago with Archie when they went up there and they got down by 20 in the first half, and it was just over.
Well, I'm not talking about getting down by 20. Yeah, you get down by 20 to a team that doesn't allow 50 points a game, it's over for you. You're done. I meant down 5, not 20. That's a whole different deal there. No, you can't get down 20. But I don't think this team is. I think they're stronger than that now. But they haven't had a lot of road games, like you said. They've had just getting introduced to that, so they're going to have to get toughened up. And the Big Ten will definitely do that. So we'll see. Going to the Kohl Center is going to be as tough of a road test for Indiana as you can get, I guess.
I remember, it was interesting what Mike said about the first half of the Syracuse game. He said, I thought we were so out of character. I thought we played scared, which I thought was kind of interesting in that first half of that Syracuse game. And I think he kind of backtracked on the coach's show, and he said the 1-3-1 was really what threw them off. But
yes,
Wisconsin will throw some, Wisconsin will throw some defenses at them that'll be different, and they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to adjust quickly. And I thought the encouraging thing about the Nebraska game was, Trace didn't have his best game, and Nebraska was taking him away. Another guy stepped up, be it Tamar Bates in the first half. Race Thompson was really active on the boards, and he played well. And you're not gonna get 20 or 30 points from Trace every night. So on the nights when you don't get that, and he doesn't get going, and teams take him away, they're going to need other guys to step up and perform. And I thought that was the encouraging thing about the Nebraska game, and they battle back with their defense.
Yeah, Indiana is going to have to watch out for your boy Johnny Davis. He leads Wisconsin in scoring at 20 points a game. So he's kind of their A guy.
Brad Davis, hasn't he been around forever? Is this like his 17th year or something, or what?
That's what I was thinking. I think he's 29 or 30 years old. I'm kidding. But he's averaging 16 points a game, and he'll step out there and shoot from behind the perimeter as well.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, and they were one of those teams that you thought like might take a step back along with Iowa in the Big Ten, and they haven't. They've played pretty well, and they're coming off the win against Marquette. They beat Houston, which was a really good win. So they've got the system that they recruit to, and they've got the Wisconsin guys that buy into it and they believe it. So it's going to be tough, particularly on the road, going up there in the Kohl Center and pulling that one out.
And this is Wisconsin's conference opener. They haven't had a conference game prior to this yet. So Indiana has one under their belt. Not that really matters. It was a home game, a home win against Nebraska. So Wisconsin has been playing Wisconsin basketball so far this year. Nothing different than what we've always seen. They don't change, man. They stay the same. It is the same style year in, year out, the same type of player year in, year out. And you're going to have to, that's an advantage they have, is they have so much continuity that it just makes it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, and Greg Gard, certainly from Bo Ryan to Greg Gard and what they've built in the last 15 or 20 years, it's been it's been impressive in terms of, the sustainability, and the year in and the year out consistency. It's just a matter of, getting over the hump again, the big one, which, Bo Ryan came close to back-to-back Final Fours about 5 or 6 years ago, but couldn't quite get over that hump.
Yeah, the shooting has come around for Indiana, so that's something that's a positive going in to Wisconsin, that if it's going, it can carry them. If they're on, if you can get Miller Kopp going, if you can get Parker Stewart going, Parker Stewart, I can't get over the numbers. I mean, he's shooting at 49% basically right now.
Yeah.
Like 21 of 43, I think, on the year, which that's not a 1,000. He's not putting up 1,000, but he's putting up enough per game. And I think that he's just going to continue to get more and more comfortable in that role. And he's just a lethal weapon.
He's leading the Big Ten in 3-point shooting percentage. And he's a guy that, they are getting more.
Can you imagine saying that after what has gone on with Indiana over the last few years, that they have a player that is leading the Big Ten in 3-point shooting?
Yeah, but this is part of Woodson's blueprint, right? This is why he brought in the shooters. This is why he brought in Parker and Miller Kopp. And I think the thing about Parker, too, is he's starting to get more assertive. He's starting to hunt his shot, I think, a little more. I've noticed that compared to early in the season where he was a little tentative, letting it fly. Now he's shooting the ball with confidence. He's going out there, and he's kind of letting it rip. And his three-pointers in the second half were really big. Nebraska was making a little bit of a run, but I thought those 3-pointers he hit in the second half of that game against Nebraska were really important in terms of, keeping that lead manageable and allowing Indiana to hold on and get that first Big Ten win.
Well, just to give you an idea, last season, Indiana finished 11th in the Big Ten in 3-point shooting. 11th. And they were number 10 in effective field goal percentage, number 11 in scoring offense. It's night and day offensively what they have going right now. So that's going to allow them to be in virtually every game they play.
Yeah, but it's far from a finished offensive product. I think, right. Mike Woodson is, certainly the turnovers, there's still stretches where they're a little sloppy. I think, Mike is giving them more freedom and they're kind of getting used to that. But with that freedom, sometimes they make those plays. Sometimes you'll see Xavier Johnson make a lead pass that's ill-advised. And, Miller Kopp, who we were praising, it's so funny that Alex Bozich on the Zoom call was talking about how great he was turning, 9 assists to 3 turnovers all season. He has 4 turnovers in that game on Saturday. It was kind of like the kiss of death. But it was, just those little things, the decision-making with the basketball. But it's still a new group, and it's still, there still has to be some cohesion here. We're only 8 games in. What you're hoping is that by February and March, that ball movement becomes more crisp and, you're turning the ball over less and you're creating more scoring opportunities through the motion and through the screening to get the offense to where you want it to be. But this is a team that, Mike even admitted early in the season, the defense has had the offense. And I think that's how they're going to have to win going forward, is just, playing really hard-nosed defense and, winning those 60-50, 70-60 type games.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Davidson from Wisconsin dating Tyra Buss, Indiana's former women's basketball player.
How about that? A little love.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
There you go. So there's that. I guess they're engaged. So there you go. They're actually engaged, my man. So engaged to be married. Congratulations to them. But I hope there you go. So little IU connection. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Why not?
But,
the Big Ten breeds love. In all shapes, in all forms, yes.
Well, she won't have to change colors for anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
both the same thing. But but it's going to be a stern test for Indiana. If they could find a way to win this game on the road. Well, number one, this would vanquish. Indiana has not won in the Kohl Center since 1998. We mentioned that. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just a ridiculous stat for an Indiana basketball program. Let's just be honest. I don't care. We're not talking about Duke or anyone else, and it would still be ridiculous if it was that long and you had that many opportunities. And you got a group of guys that couldn't care less about those numbers because they don't know about them. I mean, somebody may tell them, but it's just a ridiculous stat. And I'm not saying it ends this year, but that has got to stop.
Well, last year they took him to overtime, if you remember. That was kind of a crazy game. That was a crazy game last year up there. It really was. And that was during the pandemic, so we weren't up there. But it was kind of a wild game that went down the stretch. And who was the point guard last year? The really good player made some big shots in that game for Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name.
I don't remember his name. He was probably 30 years old. Last year, they were older than the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Their average age was older than that of the Chicago Bulls.
But, they were a team that I think had a lot of high expectations last year and kind of fell a little short and was disappointing. And I think they did win a tournament game, right? They beat North Carolina, but they got ousted in the second round by I believe it was Baylor. I think I was at that game, actually, covering that game. Baylor beat them, and, Baylor went on to win the national title. So not much shame in that. But, Micah Potter, remember, he was a big guy last year. Nate Rivers, those guys are no longer there, so they don't have the same bigs. But Johnny Davis, like you said, has really stepped up and has become the offensive force and the go-to guy for that team.